staying with us. You're watching Morning Cafe. This morning, we want to continue the conversation we started last week, Tuesday. We're talking about making profit, but still broke. How is it that you might be making a decent income or making profit from your business, but at the end of the month, you're still going back home broke? And George Oyuga, Director of Retirement Solutions at Kuza Asset Management Limited, is here again. And last week, you were very interactive with this conversation. So we invite you once again to call in and send in your questions at TV47 Kenya on Facebook and on YouTube, and on X at TV47 News KE. You can tag me as well at Ann_Dida, and shortly that number will be on your screen so that you can call in if you have any questions for George, who's already here, and we'll be doing calculations in regards to the questions that you had last week. Karibu tena, George.
Thank you very much, Ann.
Good to see you.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure being back here.
Great. So I want us to start from that point.
Okay.
For the benefit of somebody who is joining us this morning for the first time, how is it possible that you're making profit? Every month you have profit, but at the end of that month, you are broke entirely. You cannot count on anything.
Okay. I think the use of the term profit would lean more on someone who is doing business. And the challenge we have with many people who are in business individually as entrepreneurs is that they don't separate themselves from the business. Because if you draw that line, then you will be allocating yourself a salary, then now allow your lifestyle to be within that salary range. And then at the same time, the business will also have its own lifeline. Yeah, because we say a business, even by law, is a person. Yeah, so you have two people there who are in a tango dance, and that tango dance must be able to separate that this is the business owner, in one way or another, an employee of the business, but in this case, self-employed. Yeah, and then the business itself also being another person who has their own life and needs to structure also their expenditure, earnings, and the like the way it's supposed to be. Yeah.
So like I said, for people who have decent incomes, but don't go back home with anything, so they don't qualify in this category when we're talking about making profit. If they have a monthly salary, then that's just the end for them.
No, for them, you realize that for them, the source now is an employer who is not themselves. So they also, all of us meet somewhere. We meet at what I call the earnings platform, because earning can be a salary, earning can be income from a business, earning can be from any other source, dividends, investments, your assets could be giving you something, so you are earning. You have an income. That is why even the law structures it in a clever way to say income tax,
Yes.
So you have an income from whatever source. It may be a salary, it may be, dividends, it may be all those channels. So all those people meet somewhere and they meet at the earnings, I would call it dance floor, if you allow me.
Dance
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So you meet at the earnings dance floor. So at the earnings dance floor, you, the individual, now must shape things to work for your better going forward. So it is how you manage that, either through good tools like budgeting, financial management, whatever you can do with financial literacy skills that you have, then now will propel you to the next level.
But in your work, do you notice a difference between how salaried individuals and entrepreneurs, how we manage this profits and of course earnings as well?
Yes, there is a difference. The person who is salaried has a structured earning. They know the frequency. Is it monthly? Is it weekly? But the person who is an entrepreneur, maybe the earning patterns are not as regular as you would expect for a salaried person. The pattern there does not have a definite frequency. The pattern there is a bit haphazard. So this person actually needs to be more prudent in their financial management skills than the other party who is on a salaried platform, because it is a bit structured, the frequency is regular. Yeah.
So when we talk about, sometimes you're making profit in your business, but at the end of the day, you're still, broke. Is it more about lack of financial discipline and lack of literacy when it comes to matters finances, or is it mostly rooted in, low income earnings, from your business, from that job that you have, that entrepreneurship? What is it about?
I like the fact that we are talking about profits. Profits already eliminates the low income thing because you're there, you're enjoying the profits, you're saying, I am making profits. Now, if I defined myself as an employee in that business framework, then I have a pay, I have a salary. So that salary now that my business is giving me is what I need to plan within. So I can't be saying that we're making profits in the business, but I am broke. Maybe the business as the person is doing well because there are profits to show. It is now me as an individual whose dance with my money is poor. Yeah.
That doubles down to being financially illiterate.
Well, yes. I know it's a very harsh term when you use the word illiterate anywhere, but it's a fact that people are, a good number of us are financially illiterate. Yes.
So does profit really reflect long-term sustainability? Because a lot of people associate, profit with, let's say, financial success. So what does this prove, when you talk about just equating profits to sustainability?
Okay. If the business is registering profits, then I am happy that it is a viable business. The going concern there is real. But when the individual then comes in on how they manage the profits, to say that this is what goes to reward or maybe to appreciate those who helped in building this profit in the form of an allowance, in the form of a wage, in the form of a salary, then we introduce a second party. So those are two different dances. So for the business, if there is profit continuously, then the business is doing well. But for the individual, if the individual is not able to dance with their money from that earnings point to get themselves to the other higher levels of saving, investments, and wealth generation, then it is them who are failing, yet the business itself was doing well. So I tick the box on sustainability on the business side, but I don't tick it on the individual side if the dance with the money is poor. Yeah.
So how do they dance with their money exactly? Because I know we talked about it. It's a book that you've written, and we hinted about it kidogo last week. But again, for the benefit of somebody joining us, for the first time for this conversation, how does dancing with your money look like exactly?
Dancing with your money reflects an appreciation of the paths that money takes in any individual space. And that means that any income that comes into your hand, if you're not able to rally it towards those steps that I talk about in the wiser model, which is to say that there's a revenue relationship created. That revenue relationship gets you to earn, creates an earning platform or potential income. That earning, if managed very, very well, then we talk about savings. That saving, again, managed very, very well to the acceptable thresholds of emergency fund, and then anything in excess goes to investments. After investments, then you have wealth. So what you'll have done in that path is to convert your income to an asset. Because once it is an asset, then it starts also earning you something. Because if you have something you call an asset, but it is not earning you anything, I call it in that book a floset. Because it looks like an asset, but it's not an asset. You only simply use it to floss around. So even that high salary, high pay that people have, why is it that their dance with their money is also still poor? It is because they are not able to convert this income to become an asset. So that the income becoming an asset means that it has gone through those stages, and then it is now something that is also earning you something extra. And the simplest one, as I said last time, is don't put your money in the bank. Put your money in a money market fund.
In a money market fund, not as in SACCOs as well. You also don't champion for SACCOs.
Well, yeah, because SACCOs, we know what happens. The seesaw tilts too fast. The moment you've saved enough, you're going for 3 times what you've saved. So you're always in a negative position. Many, many people. So
maybe we can start off from that point. Setting up an MMF, practically, how do we do it? Let's use our board.
Use our board?
Yes.
Okay.
Coming up.
Can I join you there?
Yes.
Okay.
We do setting up an MMF. Let me start this off for you. Setting up an MMF. How much do I need?
Okay. Very good. First of all, what you need is a willing heart. So with a willing heart, you approach one of the, or several of the many listed, I can use this side. You approach one or several of the registered money market fund providers in the country. And that is one thing that I normally tell people, that if you really want to save, the first thing you need to consider is that the space where you save matters. And we are picking the money market fund. So if we talk about space, as an acronym, I like acronyms, this S here is your safety. So what do you look for? You first of all look for safety in regulations. So you're looking for an entity that is licensed, an entity that is regulated by Capital Markets Authority. So that will tick the box there for you on safety. Here, you're looking at the processes or governance, that's a framework that is there. Then again, the money market fund gives you something that I call a trust structure. Trust structure calls for players to come in such that it's not one person who is managing all your monies. Your monies are not seated in somebody's balance sheet. You have a custodian, you have a fund manager, and then you have a trustee. Okay? So that structure, if your money is seated in here, you are safer. So that is processes and governance.
Okay.
Then here is access. Access will be to confirm that money market funds will give you your money either the same day or within 48 hours. So again, then you tick the box on that. On the cost aspect, money market funds in our country report what I call a net income. So the income they declare, the interest they declare is net of fees.
Okay.
So that is on costs. Then E there is now the earning itself. So with the earning now, you definitely are looking at which money market fund is giving me more. Because if they are regulated the same, they are giving you all these other structures tick the box the same way, then at this particular point, do not allow opportunity costs to be yours by going and sitting with one that is not giving you better income and the like. Then once you have identified which one do you want to go for, what do? You use the requirements they want to help you set up. One is your ID. So can I write their ID?
Yes.
Identification. Then the other thing again is because you're a responsible Kenyan citizen, you'll be paying tax. So there is KRA PIN. And then the third one there is what I call the proof of bank. I know we talked about don't bank.
Yes.
And then here we are requiring you to have a bank account.
Yeah.
It's simply because there needs to be a space where we will send the money when you ask to withdraw.
Okay.
So you need a bank account to be able to be paid that. Yeah, so all these three, and then the minimum amount you talked about, money market funds, you can actually start participating in them with as low as 1,000 shillings to begin. But there are some that even accept 100 bob if you're using their app, for example, to be able to save there.
Yeah. So somebody might wonder, of course, we know, for example, if you're saving in banks,
Yes.
We usually say the money there could be depreciating in value.
Yeah.
But why do you say MMF is better than these banks? Aside from, banks, the value of the money depreciates.
Yeah.
What is better with MMF?
What is better with MMF is that MMF does not discriminate this amount here. And if you walk to your bank manager today and said, I need a meeting with you, sir, I need to discuss interest on my 1,000, they'll dismiss you. They'll dismiss you. But with a money market fund, whether you have 1 million, 10 million, 1,000, all of them will be able to get you the day's daily yield. So meaning every single day, your money is earning something. With a bank, it depends on the amount you have, number one. And then again, where is your money seated? So if your money is seated in, for example, your current account, chances are that, of course, it is not earning anything. So that is idle money seated with banks. And by there, that's a very big problem with our economy here. We have over close to 5.3 trillion seated idling in banks. Yet people could actually be able to earn from that.
From an MMF?
Yeah, an MMF, even 1,000 shillings, you start getting rewarded. Yes.
So, you know, sometimes people go the bank way because, for example, if you want to start a business, of course, you can get a loan from the bank. But can you get a loan from an MMF?
No, you cannot get a loan from an MMF.
Then is this for the rich, or is this, can an SME really benefit from an MMF? Say they want to start up their business, but you know they're looking towards an MMF. Now that you say MMF is better than the bank, and they're watching this morning.
They're watching, of course.
So let's say.
Good.
Where are they getting that loan from if they don't want to get it from the bank? How is this MMF going to serve the same purpose that the bank would have served?
Okay, then maybe I'll open your eyes to something.
Yes.
Banks do not give you loans based on the balance you have. They give you loans based on the activity in your account. So you can be an SME that has a bank account, provided this money comes in and money comes out. The turnover effect there is what they analyze. So meaning the money can be landing there, and then you are sweeping it out into a money market fund. So you are creating value, but at the same time maintaining a history here that the bank will be looking at to say, okay, I like the turnover in this account, so these people would qualify for the loan. So it does not disadvantage you in any way. Then at the same time, again, even if you are talking about funding or financing, many entities rarely finance you 100%. Some would want you to raise something small, is it? So this something small, if you're accumulating it, it passes through the bank so that the footprint is evident, but then lands in a money market fund to now create value every single day. Because money market funds will give you value daily, and then whatever your money has earned daily is credited into your balance at the end of the month. So we compound monthly. Yes.
All right. Last week, somebody asked a very important question, and they said sometimes they're getting 20,000 Kenyan shillings. That is what they're working with. But that money would end on payday, the day they get it. So how do they balance saving? You know, living a normal life while still using this 20,000 Kenyan shillings?
Okay. I think we also touched on the budget models, and we said that budgeting is not a preserve of those who have higher incomes. Budgeting is a tool that everybody needs, irrespective of how much you earn. And we gave examples. We said we can have a model that talks about 50, 30, 20. So that is the ratio that you need to split your income into, is it? So if you are earning 20,000, then it means here you have 10K. True?
True.
And then
everything.
Yes?
That is for use?
Yeah, so that is for use. On a monthly basis, everything you do, whatever you spend on rent and all those recurrent expenditures should fit in that particular space. And then 30% here would be, I think, 6,000? Is it?
You want us to do that calculation?
Yeah. And then this one here would be 4,000. I think, it's right.
Yes.
Good. So then, this one here goes to your expenditures. This one here should go to your savings. And then this one here should either go to any loans you have, but if you do not have any loans, then push it directly towards your investments.
Just hold on to that point. We're coming back to tell them what these expenditures entails, and what these loans, investments, debts, and all that.
Good.
Stay with us. We're taking a very short break. You're watching Morning Cafe. This is Biashara Tuesday.
breaking news today. The city is buzzing with euphoria. Let's connect with our correspondent on location for the latest updates. It seems Koro is behind all these good vibes. But what exactly is Koro?
I just received my cash from Koro. Just quick and easy.
The euphoria around town is crazy. Download Koro and say hello to easy lending.
Experience world-class hospitality at the heart of the city of Kigali in Rwanda at the Kigali Paramount Hotel. This is a tastefully crafted, luxurious facility where comfort, style, and service converge. Kigali Paramount Hotel is the gateway to mountain gorillas and is close to the Kigali Central Business District, Kigali Convention Center, and Kigali International Airport. Enjoy elegant accommodation, conferencing and events facilities, dining and culinary experiences, wellness, leisure, and spa. Visit www.kigaliparamounthotel.com. Kigali Paramount Hotel, elevating hospitality, redefining excellence.
Tunakusort siku zote. Pata instant upgrade with more channels when you reconnect to GOtv. Tunakusort for Monday Madness, Telenovela Tuesday, Greening Wednesdays, Terrific Thursdays, Friday. Sit back for Blockbuster Saturday. And on Sunday, tunawaletea nothing but our best. Butter more than you pay for when you reconnect to GOtv. Get upgraded to the next highest package and enjoy bigger, better entertainment. GOtv. Love it.
All right, welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. You're watching Morning Cafe. This is Biashara Tuesday. And of course, you're welcoming you to be part of this conversation. You're talking about if you are making profits, but you're still broke, what are you not doing right? Of course, George Oyuga, Director of Retirement Solutions at Kuza Asset Management Limited, is here, of course, to help us with this conversation this morning. Before we went on that very short break, we were doing some small calculations on this board here. We're working with 20,000 Kenyan shillings. If you have it, how do you divide it? Using the 50, 30, 20 rule. You already broke it down, George. You said 10,000 expenditures, 6,000 savings, 4,000 on loan and investments. At this 10,000 Kenyan shillings, mtu aoni rent hapo. Where does rent go?
Okay, there is rent there. It needs to fit in that particular 10,000 shillings. And the challenge most of us have is that at times we would want to choose our residential addresses in a manner that does not match our income patterns, because we just want to be seen to wake up in a certain place, maybe the sun rising from a certain direction and the like. So we start living over and above our means. So if you are earning 20,000 shillings, then this is how you need to split your income on a monthly basis to allow you to obey the 50-30-20 rule and then to also position you for growth going forward. Remember, this 6,000 is going into savings. If you don't have any loans or exposures to whatever you borrowed earlier, this 4,000 also is going into your investments. With time, as you build on all these, your target here, for example, on this amount here, would be to work towards an emergency fund, okay, that will be 6 times your monthly earnings. So the monthly earnings in this example is 20,000 shillings. So times 6 would mean that you have a target of, so the salary here, I'm calling it salary, but I should have called it earnings.
Okay, we can.
Good.
We can grab it.
Oh, sound good. So earnings, yeah. You know, the moment we talk about salaries, we exclude the person who is self-employed, the person who is in business, but we are talking about earnings so that everybody feels that they are included. So that is how you do it. So your target there would actually mean that you need to target to save 120,000 shillings. The moment that threshold is achieved, then you now start pushing more towards investments. So that now you have these ones reversed. Because you're still saving, but then now you have 30 now going towards investments, and then you build a pot there. You'll discover that by doing so, you will convert this line here that goes to investments into an asset. And before you realize it, now you'll be talking about something slightly higher than 20,000 as your income. Yeah. So it's just a matter of time T and the patience. If you're able to do that, then you will be increasing this. I call this the earnings dance. Your earnings dance does not necessarily have to come from a salary increment. It may actually be you managing this space very well, such that at the end of the day, your income is also converted to become an asset that gives you another channel of earnings.
But George, you know, before we started this conversation, somebody came here and said they have an income problem.
Yes.
Not necessarily a saving problem, but an income problem. Now, how do they go about, you know, saving if the issue is income?
Income.
Yeah.
So the true person who has an income problem is someone who does not have an income channel. But the person who has an income channel, success is not in how much you earn. Success is in how you manage the little that comes into your hands. So that person, I would like to meet them one-on-one and agree that we need to just damage or change that cognition a bit so that they start seeing value in this. And then working together through a financial therapy session, we can be able to convert these and then increase the earnings channel so that it is not just a focus on salary increment, it is actually a focus on how do I convert the earning that I have to become an asset, then the asset will now increase my earnings channels.
So how does a finance therapy session look like?
A finance therapy session?
Yes.
Wow, awesome.
Before she comes.
Before she comes. A finance therapy session begins with what I call self-awareness. Yeah, so self-awareness, first of all, is to weed out any money wounds that an individual has, weed out any financial injuries that an individual has through analyzing what their past has been, directly engaging with money or seeing how money was managed around them, maybe in their family when they were growing up and how they were socialized with money, how they also started interacting with money directly now when they got to the earning stage. Because you see, in life we have the dependency stage where somebody else is taking care of your bills and all that. Then you move to the earning stage. Now it is you having your own income. How do you dance with it? Is it? So people have made money mistakes. Because around here we say, Anne, that finance is taught in school, but money is not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, money is not taught in school. Yes. Money is taught through such exposures. Like today, our audience is in a class. You know.
This is money.
This is money now, discussing money being taught, how to manage that. But finance, you can go through that in a business class and the like, and still come out here and make poor decisions.
So why is this, is there a stigma, you know, around conversations around money? You know, even with people who just earn higher, there's usually stigma around conversations surrounding money. Because now that you say now, money is not taught in school, but finance is taught in school. Why is there still stigma, even as much as we are trying to promote financial literacy?
Yeah, because rarely do you find somebody who teaches you how to dance with your money. So we end up into what I would call emotional traps, those immediate gratifications, and any other money decision you see around. Because out here, definitely, the world is full of people's money decisions. Some of them are regretting the same. Some of them are going through what I call buyer's remorse and emotional challenges around the decisions they made with money. So it is not so much in the how much. It is in the how one managed. And most people, the financial dance or the money dance is very, very poor. Yeah.
Let's go back to this person here whose issue is majorly income. But now they want to, when should they start agitating for pay rise? Because they say maybe they're working with 20,000
Yeah.
and it's not enough for them.
Yeah.
And their work setup doesn't give them that luxury to come up with, say, a side hustle to just also enable them to just live a normal life.
Yeah.
So when do they agitate now for a pay rise?
There's the passive potential and there is the active potential. The active potential is where now you'll be looking at your day and you're saying that my day is 24 hours, is it? These 24 hours, the doctor says I must sleep 8.
Yes.
Your employer here will not demand more than 8. Why are you looking at me like that?
Okay.
Yes, and then you have another 8. This makes the 24. Many times, Anne, we can account for this, and at times we even hive out a portion of this because we don't sleep enough. We can account for this because the supervisor is watching, you see. But when it comes to this, very, very few people can account for this. If you have a side hustle or you have the potential to increase your earnings, this is the 8 that will cause a difference in your life. Because if you're saying that, how would I grow my salary, for example, it is reskill, retool. If you can reskill, retool, all that will demand in this particular segment of 8 would actually be around 3 hours or 4 maximum. Look at evening classes, look at all those. This is where we go. So the rest of the 4 hours would be wasted somewhere, either coming from here or going back here, you see. So once you can manage this and harness, because we talk about create time. Creation already happened, but the only thing we are left to create going forward is time, is it? So create time means that hive these 8 out and see what you can be able to do with it. Now, if your work environment is so structured such that you may not be able to engage in active side hustle, then do the passive side hustle, which is here. Okay?
Saving.
Build, build, build. With the time, this portion here, okay, will actually now start pumping something to your 20 without you knowing. Because what we say is that anybody who gets to, like today with money market funds, by the time you've saved, let's say like 1 million shillings, 1 million bob will give you close or somewhere around 10, 11,000 shillings per month. Isn't that 50% salary or 50% income raise? Yes. So that is now what people look at. And with those who are younger, for example, you have the advantage of what we call compounding. You don't need to push this and say, do a simple math and say, when will my 6,000 times 12 times which number of years get me to 1 million, is it? You simply just need to use what we call the right space. That right space, like a money market fund, will compound that on a monthly basis. So the efforts there would actually be lower. The investment will contribute much, much more to you getting to that target. Yes.
All right, let's talk about retirement. When is the best time to start planning towards retirement?
The best time to start planning towards retirement is when you're given a paper and you are told, sign here. Meaning you are signing into your employment letter. That is the time to begin your retirement journey. Yeah. And with retirement, the longer you take to begin, the steeper the path will be for you. Yeah, to get yourself to that comfortable target. And you know, many people look at retirement differently. They look at it from the point of age-based. That I want to retire when I'm 55 or 60, or 65 or 70, depending on the line of profession. Retirement should actually be goal-based, not age-based. When it is goal-based, you ask yourself, what kind of retirement do I want? What is the quality of life do I want there? Actuaries in our industry recommend that you need to replace your final pay slip by up to around 75%. Meaning, if your last salary before you retire was 100,000, then you need to get into a pension environment that pays you 75,000 a month. Very few people achieve that. In fact, even the ILO, International Labour Organization, pegs that threshold that please try as much as possible to make it a minimum of 40%. But in the industry today, the retirement benefits industry in Kenya, we are sitting with a net replacement ratio of around 26-28%. I mean, someone who is earning 100,000 will be retiring to start earning 28,000. Then because of that drastic change, it makes retirement become a very bitter pill, yeah, for many people, but simply because we didn't plan better. Yeah.
So if you're talking about planning for retirement, does it enter into that 6,000 that we used for savings? Planning for retirement?
Yes. If things are too tight, we can actually count it here as well, because you're building a pot. So you're pushing more towards your retirement as well. There's a percentage that goes there, because what we say is that going by, let's say, the threshold that NSSF has set for us, all you need to do here is maybe save an average of 6% of your salary. Your employer does another 6%. So in total, if you have 12% of your earnings going into a retirement arrangement, then you're good to go. Yes.
If things are too tight, then it goes in there. But what if things are not too tight? Like if
things are not too tight,
working with 100,000 Kenyan shillings.
100,000 Kenyan shillings, then that means that our savings there will be 100,000 is the salary. That is salary. If you take 6% of that, that means pension savings or retirement savings are coming to 6,000, is it? That's 6%.
Yes.
But if you're in a work environment, you would actually be also receiving an extra, maybe 6,000 from your employer, is it? So you are targeted to be saving 12% of what you are earning. If you are self-employed, then try as much as possible to make this 12%, 12,000. Because now you do not have an employer who is pushing in the other bit for you. So don't compromise your situation by saving less than that. Then you save, that's 12% there. Now, did you also know that the government has given us relief on this, such that if you are supposed to pay as you earn here, tax, on the 100,000, you have a leeway of up to 30,000 per month, not being taken into consideration in the calculation of pay as you earn, because it is going into a pension or a retirement savings arrangement. So that means if your pay was to be calculated on 100 and you're saving 30,000, your pay will now be calculated on 70,000. And that notwithstanding, we also recognize that retirees, when they retire, one of the pain points they have is that they actually go through a lot of challenges with their medical needs. So we also have a new provision that came in last December of up to 15,000 shillings going into your post-retirement medical fund, tax-free as well. So what it means is that this person here earning 100,000 has up to 45,000, which will not be considered when it comes to payee tax, and they are saving towards a better future. Yes.
All right. Let's tackle now paying yourself. You know, they say even when you handle your business,
yes,
you have to pay yourself. Is it every day or every month? How does it work, paying yourself?
Okay, you need to structure that, whether you are going to put yourself in the wage category, who earns every week, okay, or monthly category, where you'll be earning also every month. And I like that because it gives somebody the discipline. You know, at times when you are in a business environment and you are the business person, yes, people don't separate themselves from the business. And you end up dipping your hand into what is circulating in the business to be able to grant you maybe more profits or more revenue. So you're eating into capital and you do not know, because you're excited by the turnover. Yet out of that turnover, it may be taking 1,000 shillings to rotate to earn you 100. Your spending potential is actually this 100, not the 1,000 that you keep seeing going around. So people, when they're able to separate that and say that if my spending potential is this 100, which the business has earned, the business should give me a salary. Then once my business gives me a salary, I'll now know and contain myself so that I have a lifestyle that is within that particular earnings threshold. Otherwise, in Swahili we say, nitakula capital.
Judge, write it down for us.
Yes.
Say, you know, for somebody with a seasonal earning.
Yes.
Those are people with biashara.
Yes.
And they need to pay themselves. You've explained it so well.
Yeah.
But say this time around I make 20,000 Kenyan shillings again.
Yes.
The next time I make 5,000 Kenyan shillings. Is paying yourself mandatory, or do you only pay yourself when, say, you're making enough profit?
Okay, when you're paying yourself, you need to pay, as a business person,
Yes.
if your business is not making profit, then it means that there are certain things you need to defer and not charge your business until you break even. But when you break even, then it means that you will be looking at your pay. Okay, salary, is it? Your total wage bill in your business should actually be confined within this. This is the only way you'll give your business an opportunity to keep growing and continue. So if your profits are such that, let's say your business makes you 100,000, is it? As profit. Then what that means is that you and everybody else who is breathing in that particular business should actually limit your pay total to 30. Then you'll start admiring this, because the 70 will be pushed back to the business, because that will be the cost that you have of making that particular money. Yeah, so limit yourselves to this as you're earning. Then craft your salary inside here, plus the other person who is assisting you. If you're taking the 20K, as we said earlier on, and the other party is taking another 5 and another person taking 5, then now you're containing your earnings there. So you will be able to grow your business, build more capital to increase this. Tomorrow, these are 100,000 profit, maybe 200. The moment it gets to 200, because now your business is growing and the like, and you didn't need to borrow to finance growth potentials, then this may actually grow and you'll now have a spend of even 60 to be able to pay yourself and pay the other people who are with you there. Yeah.
We hear a lot about the need to track every shilling even as you spend.
Yeah.
How important is it?
Need to track every shilling. That is something that is propagated by those who fail.
It's a myth?
It's a myth.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's because you have two things here. You have the cat. Is that a cat?
We will work with that.
Is it? Yeah, so you have the cat, and then you have the donkey. So if you put the donkey before the cat, or the donkey after the cat, you need to ask yourself, where are you with your money? Are you the driver, or are you the auditor who comes in to check where the money went? So that side of accountability, or that perspective of accountability, to me, I normally say that it comes in too late, when the money had already taken different directions and you didn't direct it. So the best thing is to be the driver of where your shilling goes. That way, that is financial management. This other one is just converting yourself to a life auditor, lifestyle auditor, to track where my money went. You're not in control, but you can account for where it went, which is fine, yeah, because it was not lost. You can actually say, I spent here, I spent here, I spent here, but this spending, was it within a particular model? So if you use a budget, you will not be in that WhatsApp group. Yeah? You will be in the control room, where you are the one controlling that 50% goes here, 30% goes here, 20% goes here. So if you now join people to say, I know where my money went, you are first of all in the driver's seat, which is a better thing.
All right, finally, George, what are some of the money mistakes that we are making that are leading to us, being more broke even as we make profits? And what solutions are you offering at Kuza Asset Management Limited?
Okay. One of the money mistakes that people make is, number one, is to be reactive to income. You're going out for lunch, an SMS checks in, salary has come. If you are going to Kibandaski, you change your routes. We react to income, most of us. And this is because we're also coming from a background, for example, that did not have money being positioned as a tool or something that can help us prosper. So whenever we get it, we are keen on either kupigia mwili pole or kupigia mwili asanti as the first thing to reduce it to manageable levels, and then we go back again to being broke. So how can we be able to do that? Please save. The 50-30-20 model we use will help you get somewhere irrespective of how much you earn. And for us at Kuza, what we do is we give you that platform, which is the money market fund. Once you've built that to achieve your 6 times emergency fund threshold, then it means that you are now open and ripe enough for investments. Then now, based on your investment appetite, risk appetite, based on your horizon, based on the objectives of your lifestyles, then we can be able to craft and work with you to achieve more and better, because we have many spaces, almost 11 of them, and they suit different people differently based on somebody's profile and where they are in their journey towards prosperity, because Kuza means to nurture. So we work with people towards that journey. Yeah.
Last week when you're talking to us about the book Dance With My Money, and somebody asked how can they now get access to such tools where they can read about financial literacy, but where can they find Kuza Asset Management?
Kuza Asset Management, we are at Prism Towers in Upper Hill, 3rd Ngong Avenue. We are there on the 12th floor. That's where we are. But we also available on your gadgets, on your laptop, yeah? Kuza.Africa. We have an app that you can download and get into the investment space. You don't have to come physically to the office. So all that is very, very open. Through our website, we have a portal, very interactive. You can sign up, self-on board, and actually start saving there. Yeah, but for the book, that's available at Nuria. Yeah, for the physical copy. But again, for the soft copy, there's a website, moneydancetherapy.com, where you can get the book in audio, buy audio, listen to it if you're not the type that can sit down and read. So that is also there.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, George, for making time once
Asante.
again to take us through, savings, retirement, and planning.
Yes.
Dancing with our money. Thank
Yes.
you. George is the Director of Retirement Solutions at Kuza Asset Management Limited. That brings us to the end of this conversation. Thank you so much for watching. Stay with us. You're watching Morning Cafe. We're coming back with First Aid.